Sri Lanka's most powerful news brand.
Welcome to the Newsfirst Centre. I'm Ramesh Rugal Bandara. Now, once the Yahapalana government came in, there was a lot of focus on the economy of this country. With the bond scam taking place, there was focus on the economy. With the IMF extended fund facilities coming in, there was focus on the economy. And tonight we are going to discuss the economy. I have with me Chaitha Fernando, our Chief Business Correspondent. Good evening, Chaitha.
Good evening, Ramesh.
Now, there was a media briefing held at the Central Bank today.
Yes,
what were the key takeaways with regard to the economy?
Okay, so the press briefing was held to announce the 8th monetary policy review for this year, the last one. So the Monetary Board has decided not to change the policy rate, so it's unchanged. And some of the factors that they consider to keep it as it is the lower economic growth recorded in the third quarter of 2017 as compared to the second quarter. So the economy has grown by 3.3% in the third quarter compared to the 4% recorded in the second quarter. And also inflation has eased a bit in November, so that's a good sign. And they expect that inflation will lower further towards...
So things are looking good?
That's what the central bank says. They seem to be confident that the inflation rate will go down further in next year. And also private credit growth, which was a major concern, is also slowing down. So that's also a good sign. And export earnings is surging. So these are the key factors that they considered in deciding the policy rate.
Now let's take a look at what the central bank had to say about the policy interest rates, and then let's get back to our discussion.
Seeing interest rates coming down, though the central bank has not adjusted the policy rate since March of this year, we have seen a significant reduction in market interest rates, which going forward clearly will be growth positive.
Now, with the 2017 budget, with the 2018 budget and Vision 2025 coming into place, there were targets that were set by the central bank and by the government. What did the central bank have to say about these targets?
Yeah, mainly they expected the economy to grow by 4.5% or at least around 4%. But right now, during the first 9 months of 2017, the economic growth rate is 3.7%. So we haven't been able to achieve that target. There's another interesting factor that the governor spoke about, which is the calculation of these numbers by the Census and Statistics Department. So according to the central bank, they don't have the resources to do a comprehensive survey. They need more data to come up with a proper, comprehensive, accurate statistics to gauge the growth of the economy.
Now, if I'm correct, both the central bank and the Census and Statistics Bureau come under the Prime Minister, doesn't it?
Yes, yes. But the problem is, according to the central bank governor, they don't have the necessary resources to go out there and do the kind of surveys that are needed to come up with more accurate figures.
Now, there have been concerns about financial institutions, with several prominent politicians making statements about it. Did the central bank have anything to say about that as well?
Yes, in fact, the governor was responding to a media report about a finance company which was shut down, or their license was cancelled. So the media report was following a press conference yesterday by depositors saying that the company was shut down because the central bank failed in their regulation aspect. So the tone of the central bank governor was, he sounded very disappointing about the article, but his tone was very firm. I think we can listen to the voice track now.
Let's listen to what the central bank had to say about the CIFL and get back to our discussion.
I'm reacting very badly, to be honest, because it's an extremely unfortunate story. Let me say on the accounting. The central bank conducted a forensic account, which is what has been called for, way back in September 2013. And the findings of that forensic account have been shared with the Attorney General's Department and the CID. So I don't know who in the central bank is trying to hide things. So the forensics department, let me repeat, forensic audit done in September 2013. Findings shared with the AG's department and the CID. So nobody is trying to hide anything. Not only that, there was a letter, they're saying that there were people who were guilty of all kinds of misdemeanors and the central bank has done nothing about that. There was a letter sent to the Attorney General's Department requesting legal action to be taken against errant parties on the 16th of April 2014. Several letters have been written to the AG's department since then. 4 letters have been sent to the CID, the first one in December 2012. Okay? Now, a case has been filed against one party, which has been mentioned in that news report. In fact, on the basis of the central bank's information, the CID issued a red notice, an Interpol red notice, and that person was brought back to Sri Lanka and he was arrested. But the courts have given him bail. So, I don't know what else the central bank could have done.
Over the course of 2016, there have been many discussions that have been centered around the central bank. Now, one of those discussions was regarding online payment platforms. Chaita, was there any mention about online payment platforms today? Because this is something that we need.
Yes, there was. The governor said that in the past 2-3 years, there hasn't been proper coordination between ICTA and the central bank on developing a payment platform. And the deputy governor also mentioned that there were gaps in the proposal sent by ICTA. So as of the current situation, they are awaiting a report from ICTA in the next couple of weeks, next 2 weeks, following which they will decide how to progress in this regard.
I believe we have comments made by the central bank on online payment platforms as well.
It's at the central bank, and we have several rounds of discussions with the team of the ICTA officials. And unfortunately, last few years we haven't seen that coordination between two entities. Because I have to keep in mind that the central bank is the regulator of the payment and settlement of the country. We have the responsibility of maintaining the smooth process, the smooth operation in the payment and settlement of the country. So in this regard, so then we had a meeting with the ICTA officials, and we have seen some gaps of their operations and they are developed the working arrangement, and we set up a committee representing the central bank officials, FIB officials, the Lanka Pay officials, as well as the ICTA officials, and headed by one of the deputy director in the central bank, and requested to that committee to submit their report within another 2 weeks' time. So once the report is submitted, so then we can see how we can work with the ICTA, especially with this regards to this payment platform.